Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about one of the things that I have come to realize as both a coach as well as someone who has put out novice content and free novice programs for over a decade, which tens of thousands of people have successfully run and a lot of people have failed upon. And you know, a lot of it would seem like to most people who've been lifting well, like, what do you mean novices or perpetual novices? Can't they just follow instructions? All they have to do is follow any one of the 4 or 5 good novice programs and eat a small calorie surplus and eat protein. Literally, that is the only thing they have to do. That's it. And they won't be novices. Within like 6 to 9 months, they'll be completely done with their noob gains. And I agree with that, but here's the problem with that line of thought. That line of thought includes the idea that novices are capable of following instructions. And this is one of the things that I have noticed as a coach, particularly when I've had novices come to me who flounder. Invariably, for those of you who are not familiar with this term, look up the Dunning-Kruger effect. And that is generally, just to sum it up, is that people who have no knowledge or competence in an area, who have very, very little in an area of expertise, tend to massively overvalue their own knowledge. And in the case of training novices who have never made any gains, for some reason they do a little reading, they do a little stuff, and suddenly they think that they know what they are doing. Okay? And I've seen it repeatedly for my novices who floundered and didn't make gains even when they're paying me to coach them. They are simply incapable of following the instructions. So if people who are willing to pay a coach hundreds of dollars a month, adding up very quickly into thousands of dollars, if they're willing to pay the coach who is telling them what to do and they still don't do it, what in the world makes you think they're going to be able to follow a basic template such as what I just gave you guys? And here's what I mean. Number one, they want to add their own exercises. They're convinced, because they've done a little reading, well, this novice program doesn't have enough work here, here, and here, so I need to add this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And I know it looks good when I do the exercise this way, but I think I need to totally change my grip, because I saw some world record holder do it slightly different than I'm doing, so therefore I need to do it exactly like they did, irregardless of their bone structure or what's going on. I'm just going to change what I'm doing to where it looks like in my mind what I think that they're doing, instead of just doing what works. They will do this. They will add 57 million exercises. They won't follow a basic program. They'll miss lifts. They'll try to start maxing and throwing heavy weights on a bar outside of a progression, outside of what's written on the piece of paper for them, and they'll just do it because they think that they know better. And this is a reoccurring problem with novices, particularly young men, that they think that somehow they have an idea of what they're doing, and it creates these problems. And we see the same thing on the nutrition side. They're either terrified to bulk, or when you say, hey, gain 1 to 2 pounds a month, maybe 2 pounds a month if you're really skinny for the next year. And all the experts tell them this, every single top expert, myself included. What do? Well, I'm smarter than this expert, and I want a cheat code. This person's holding secrets back. If I gain 5 pounds or 8 pounds every month, I'll make way better progress. All right, they do that, and then in 12 weeks, they're ridiculously fat. They're fat. And then they panic. They go, well, that didn't work. Oh my God, now I'm really fat. I got man titties. I got a muffin top. And then they go on a starvation cut. They lose 100% of their gains. They go all the way back to where they started. They lose any gains they would have possibly made because they way overcut. Because again, they think that everything should be done today. right? There's no such thing as putting in 6 months or a year of work. I want it tomorrow. So if they just go onto an extreme starvation diet and then they lose 40 pounds, then they're just skinny fat. And then they go, well, now I'm just have no muscle and I still have little love handles and stuff. I'm skinny fat. Oh my God. And then they're scared to bulk again. Because the last time I did it, I got fat. Well, no, last time you ate like a fucking pig, you got fat. You didn't do what you were told to do. And I've had clients do this. It's always young men. They don't do what you tell them because you teach them how to count calories, tell them watch the scale, weigh every day, and instead of gaining 2 pounds a month, they gain 25 pounds in 10 weeks, right? And it's all fat. You only gain about 4 pounds of muscle in there. That's all that's biologically possible. So they gain 20 plus pounds of fat. Then they want to cut. Then they freak out. And I've watched this happen multiple times. And this is when they're paying you to tell them what to do. So I could extrapolate that over and realize this is why novices fail. They are incapable of just doing what they're told, of taking a program written by good coaches. They're incapable of simply taking it and following it to the letter. Following the progressions as it's laid out, the weight resets when it's laid out, doing the exercises that are prescribed. They're incapable of doing it because they believe for some bizarre reason that they know more than the coaches who wrote the program. When the odds are they don't know anything. They usually don't know anything at all. And they start changing it and adding stuff. Okay, that's number one. Number two is the nutrition end. They either massively overbulk and then freak out, because they would still make gains. If they just kept that crazy bulk going, they would just have to deal with the extra body fat, but they would still make gains. But they do it for a short period of time. And then they panic and freak out. And now they're terrified to eat again. And so they essentially are perpetual novices forever. They never bench 225. They never squat 315. Because now they're just skinny fat all the time. They don't understand how to slowly bulk or cut correctly. Even though they've been told, they don't listen. And they won't follow a program. So essentially, anytime someone has stuck with these numbers and they tell you, well, I've done everything right, and this is still where I am, quite frankly, it's very simple. They didn't follow basic instructions. They tried to think for themselves in an area they have no education in. And it causes failure every single time. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.